I am here with Naomi Chafee,
Yes.
and we are excited to talk about seed gathering,
Yes.
foraging, tinctures, touch on a few of those things, and see where we go.
Yes.
Okay, so Naomi, you are the sister to Joel Haugen of
Yes.
Acres of Asher.
Yes.
Talk to me about growing up on the farm with
Okay.
your mom and dad.
I spent a lot of time outside. I spent a lot of time helping mom in the garden or with garden things. So it was just something that we did. It was also something that my grandparents did. And so gardening was a way of life for me. But my first memory, one of my first memories, is planting zinnias. I was 3.5, planting zinnias with my mother. And I remember looking at the package and getting so excited about all the beautiful colors. And I remember asking, if I put 2 zinnia seeds on top of each other, will the flower come out both colors? And she said no. But I tried anyway. And she was right. I remember in 5th and 6th grade, you go on that class trip. And we went, there was a DNR man who spoke to us about wild edible plants. And I had not heard that you could eat things in the woods. I got so excited. And that's always stuck with me. My mother was incredibly good at making something from nothing.
Okay.
And so I would say that has, I've inherited that. Just looking at something and going, oh, I wonder what we could use that for. So if a plant has multi-uses, that's the most fun thing for me. So in other words, if it's beautiful and medicinal and edible, bonus. I mean, you get to use it for many other things. And that has made me very curious over the years.
Give us an example of one of those multi-use plants that you maybe enjoy specifically.
Nasturtium would be a really fun one. The plant itself you can grow as a deterrent for other insects in the garden. So you plant it and the bad insects will be drawn to nasturtium. So it's like a bait plant. The leaves are edible, the flowers are edible, the seeds are edible. When the seeds dry, you can use them as a pepper substitute. You can grind them and use them as a pepper substitute. But you can use the seeds when they're not developed yet into the hardness, when they haven't cured, to make capers. So that's one I love. I think it's very, very fun. And it's beautiful. That's shepherd's purse. I pick it as a dried flower, but it has medicinal qualities. So I can tincture it if I need to. And the dried flower itself contains the seeds. So if I ever wanted to grow it, the leaves are edible. So if I ever wanted to grow it in a microgreen form in the winter, I could do that. Lamb's quarters.
Okay.
Pigweed. I grew up pulling it out of the field. Pigweed. But I did not know that it was incredibly nutritious. It's in the same family as amaranth and quinoa and spinach.
Okay.
And the nutritional content is really similar to spinach, except greater. And it grows pretty much everywhere. And the seeds, you can eat the seeds and use them as a quinoa replacement. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to save the seeds and use them in the winter for microgreens.
Where did you start?
That has been a lifelong progression. The themes that keep rolling around in my life are making something out of nothing. Beauty. I ended up going to college for interior design, but ended up using it in the garden world because in college I worked at greenhouses and related fields. Got out and I worked in both fields, in design and in landscape. So then it just kind of grew in and of itself. I would love a plant for how it looked and then realize that there were uses.
Sure.
And then it's the whole, I wonder what this would look like when it dried. I
Sure.
wonder what this plant would do. I am fascinated with the design in nature and the function of that design. So it really is always form and function that I'm thinking about. And so if I can use something that's beautiful that will also feed my family or, add to their health, well, how fun is that? It's very fun to me. We're gonna put some fire cider together today. Most of these things I grew except for the lemon, and I did not grow the ginger. Calendula. This is horseradish, onion, lemon, garlic, ginger. This is aronia berry, elderberry, rose hips, cayenne pepper, and echinacea flowers. The reason that I chose those is because I like to make fire cider with what I actually have on hand or what I grow. There are so many fire cider recipes out there. You're not going to mess it up. If you're using medicinal plants that you're familiar with, just go for it. Most people in the States use echinacea root. In Europe, they mostly use the flower. And I actually prefer, it's so much easier to use the flower. And I've had great success with using the flower. So that is why we'll be using flower today. Anyway, I'm just going to start, and I'm actually going to make two here. I'm going to try and experiment. This is standard apple cider vinegar that everyone is used to. This is one that I made, and it's much more mild. It's a very fun process if you ever have any design. Not hard, just time consuming. But this is more mild. So I'm going to try a small one with my own apple cider vinegar, and then the standard one that I usually make with the typical apple cider vinegar.